And now, episode 14. And the episode name is A Surprise for Marie. As the boat moves slowly to the shoreline to dock, Champ tells Bailey to stay inside the cabin. He wants to surprise her. She agrees as Champ drops anchor and eases the platform boat to shore. He is careful to guard his excitement by not allowing his body language to tip his wife off. She was a very astute woman who knew her husband very well. She could always tell by his movements if he was going to try to surprise her. Champ refused to remember the entire surprise anniversary or gifts he had planned that always seemed to be revealed. As long as he had known Marie, keeping a secret from her without being suspicious was almost an impossibility. So he concentrates and tries to stay focused to the task ahead. He hurriedly eases the boat gently to the dock as it gently kisses the old-type rubber boat tire cushions and settles the boat safely in place. Champ finishes with a rope work and then walks gingerly over to Marie as was his custom, and warmly greets his wife. With a quick kiss on the forehead and with his arms around her waist, guiding her casually to the boat. Marie seems to be more than usual tired, and is relieved that he has finally arrived. Champ smiles at himself as he thinks that he just might be able to pull this one off. So she is completely unaware of what awaits her. She begins to move at a faster pace as Champ removes his arm so as not to impede her progress. This was nothing unusual for him. Her love of running always seemed to push her at a faster pace than for him, as she moves ahead of him to the boat and up the ramp. Champ finds himself having to discreetly pick up his pace to keep up with her. Normally, Champ would be a little disturbed by her lack of enthusiasm to see him, but this time he thinks it will work out better for him. He just might succeed in surprising her. Champ, please Marie with a whine. Come on, honey, trust me. It's not what you think. Marie exhales as she reluctantly puts her hand over her eyes. Okay. Champ is not satisfied with the coverage as he extends his hands over her face as well, knowing that she would probably cheat and peek and ruin the surprise. Marie expects this and makes no effort to protest as the two move as one up the plank of deck. Marie's eyes remain closed and Champ's large hands never unlock from her face as they head into the kitchen area inside the cabin. Champ removes his hands from Marie's face and says, "Okay, remove your hands and open your eyes." Champ quickly moves to her right so he can see the expression on her face as she removes her hands and opens her eyes. As her eyes slowly adjust to the low lighting inside the cabinet, a familiar sight comes hauntingly to the fore. The image of her mother comes into full focus and freezing her, still in disbelief. She's speechless. She rubs her both eyes with bolted fists and continues to stare, not believing her eyes. She gasps as if seeing a ghost. Bailey holds back, waiting for her daughter to make the first move, and in disbelief, she looks closer and says nothing. She slowly reaches out to touch her hand as she says in a soft undertone of disbelief, "Mom, is that you?" Bailey's joy is no longer subdued as she explodes with excitement. Her radiant smile and gregarious hugs is only slightly overshadowed by her pure, unbridled joy. Yes, Marie, it's me. It's really me. A little girl receiving that special one gift that she had always wanted for a very long time. She falls face first into her mother's arms and proceeds to bawl tears of happiness to no end. Simultaneously, they both begin to weep with joy and smothering each other with hugs and kisses as Champ begins to feel awkward and out of place, as if he is intruding in this special moment. He excuses himself and steps outside to allow mother and daughter their long-awaited union. Champ steps outside and finds Cassio looking through one of the port windows inside at the reunion. When discovered, he quickly withdraws and guiltily begins to pretend to be occupied by something else. Champ smiles with empathy and says nothing. While Cassio understood what his father was planning, he was completely off guard so as to all the drama and the awkwardness of the moment. Champ senses this as if he says with somber joy, "Untie the boat and let's head up to the river and let's go see Loiuso. He should be finished with the laundry by now. It's going to be getting dark in a couple of hours, so we best get to it." Cassio nods and begins the proceeding of launching the small boat. After a few minutes passes, he tells Cassio to stay with the wheel and navigate carefully and watch out for the mangroves along the bank of the east side. We don't want to make work for ourselves or suffer any breakdown. Champ takes a deep breath and proceeds to go downstairs to see the others, with hopes that all the crying had stopped and he can enjoy his wife and mother-in-law on more of a comfortable emotional plateau for himself. He comes down and finds them smiling contentedly at each other as mother and daughter continue to enjoy the moments of silence together. The silence of going on too long for Champ, who fears that maybe they're talking about him. So he tries to be circumspect about it and says, Mom, George Santayana once said that family is one of nature's masterpieces. Both Marie and Bailey stop looking each other and are slightly bewildered at what Champ is about to say as they give him their full attention. What I mean is, in the old days, life was simple. Family life was good. Mama worked at home. Dad went to his job in the morning and came home in the evening. Grandma would always come over and visit with Grandpa, spending their leisure time trying hard not to make Grandma mad at him. Life was... Marie looks back over to her mother and says retiringly, "Sorry, Mom. Champ has really turned into a real fuddy-duddy here on Notland since he's gotten older. You have to forgive him for his occasional philosophical outbursts. He means well." She turns back to her husband and with a redemptive smile replies, "But that's why I love him so." Champ relaxes with a warm smile as Marie again turns to face her mother and responds graciously, "Mom, it's so good to have you back. We've missed you something terrible." Both reach out for each other's hands and smile with moist eyes as both comes to grips with this special moment and clearly never wanting it to end. Now that you're back, Mom, I guess we can start our running again. There are places here at Notland that are just breathtaking. I just can't wait to show you. I have a new favorite path I like to use that is simply breathtaking. Wait till you see it. It's so beautiful, it will just take your breath away. Bailey smiles and with emotional dried out like a horse-like voice replies, "I look forward to that." Bailey looks over to Champ and then surrounding area and says, I think it's something easy for us to enjoy. Bailey nods with agreement and continues, one of my favorite sites is where they wash clothes here in the river. It reminds me of the place we once toured in the country of Côte d'Ivoire, Africa, just outside the city of Abidjan. There and here, it's not uncommon to see thousands of colored garments sprawled out on the ground on the banks of the river, drying after being cleaned. Remember back home on Earth, they called the men who did this for a living, they called them Fanico. Do you know what that means? Are you ready for this? It means the man who washes clothes. Makes sense, admits Bailey with a smile. What's amazing about his work is that he arrives from town pulling a wooden wagon with all sorts of clothes and will take them down to the spot in the river where he keeps them together and washes them. They do this the same way here on Notland as they did on Côte d'Ivoire, probably from that part of Africa. He makes his own soap and has to work with another person for 3 months before he's given his own spot in the river. In Africa, they rarely use any clothing. It's a good thing, too, because I'm told that Loiso, that it could ruin the career of a Fanico. So you just drop off your laundry and, Mother, I don't just drop it off. Well, not too often, she admits with a smile of guilt coupled with mild protest. Bailey is warmly amused by this. She knew her daughter always hated to do the laundry and put it off as long as she could on Earth. It's all right, dear. I understand. But I do have kind of a silly question. What is that? Asked Marie. Doesn't the soap kill the fish eventually or make them sick? No. I asked Loiso that question myself. He said that the Fanico soap is very safe and that he had to make for himself. His soap is made mostly of palm oil, salt, sour sop, coconut oil, potassium, and cocoa butter. It's all biodegradable. I guess it's a good thing, too. I can imagine how Cassio would feel that if it did hurt the fish. And now, Chapter 11, How Real is Real. For the next episode. That'll be Chapter 11. That will be Episode 14. How Real is Real.